Hello, good evening. My name is Sandra Essenamapin and I have the latest in the world of business. Business organizations have impressed on governments to quicken the pace of business reforms and to ensure an enviable business environment in Ghana. This was made known at an event to unveil the Made in Business Enabling Environment project in Accra. Charles Aite was there for Joy Business and has the rest of the story.
The interface between people and the difficulty in private sector making assessments as to their liability to be in compliance voluntarily had been the bane of why taxes are not being paid by the private sector or why the taxes collected are not in line with what we expect it to be. So the essence is the use of technology. So if they are going to be able to do it, they need the instructions manual, they need the opportunity because they cannot afford consultants to do it for them.
Interesting point, but just hold on that thought for me, because we also have here with us that's Professor Usesibe from the IEA, and they're part of the coalition partners from the University of Ghana Economic Department. First of all, you made mention in your speech the need for us to dwell on facts and figures, the hard facts, whenever we're measuring the progress made in ensuring an environment in Ghana. So walk us through the hard facts. How are we performing?
Well, I mean, we're talking about evidence-based advocacy, So we have to have the hard fact to back whatever that we are doing. We look at Ghana's ease of doing business ranking, and we not been doing so well, although we have improved significantly. We are currently around 108 as far as the starting business is concerned. But if you compare us to our comparator countries like Cote d'Ivoire, like Senegal, like Rwanda, they're all doing much better than we are doing. And so the question is, why why is the progress been so slow?
You have stated, we did hear in the program, that investors are worried. Yes, we are making advances in ensuring an environment, but there still remain situations at hand.
Yeah.
How best can we quicken up?
The best way is to speed up the reform process. Those that are not needed, wipe them out. Those that are needed, clean them so you can do them within as short as possible time. Right. And using electronic system which is available, we should be able to do it.
You did hear from both sides of the coin. We shall be advancing this discussion as we move on. As we do know, it's going to be on all our platforms, the multimedia platforms, and we shall be interrogating the issues at hand.
To other stories, the implementation of the ECOWAS Common External Tariff (CET) adopted by member states in the sub-region has been identified as the cause for high charges on import duties at the port. The Ghana Revenue Authority began the CET implementation in February 2016, but national organizer of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, Clement Boateng, is calling for a withdrawal of the program for a second look in order to minimize cost of doing business at the port.
The Common External Tariff is a payment regime adopted by all ECOWAS member countries to facilitate trade along the borders of the various countries. Ghana began implementing the CET in the first quarter of 2016 in a quest to improve trade at the major ports as part of the WTO Trade Facilitation Agreement. Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, thinks the process has been rushed and is affecting business at the port. Clement Boateng is the national organizer of GUTA.
As far as GUTA is concerned, there has been some increase on the common ECOWAS external tariff regards to confectionery and I think hardware and some other items. So that is the more reason why we are calling for this stakeholder engagement. And if I were to show you a duty paper or a declaration here, you see that we have about 15 or 16 levies and taxes that we are paying. So if you do a cumulative analysis, you will see that we are paying about half, or let's say if you import goods of about maybe 100,000, you are supposed to cough up about 50,000 or 55,000 as your import, duty.
In response, Commissioner of Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Isaac Crainsell, disagrees that it's been rushed.
It was not because me just implementing. It was something that the Ministry of Trade and other stakeholders decided. So it's not because someone rushed it, no. But we just decided on what they told us to do.
Okay. So despite all the reforms, the paperless, the CTN and all that, we're still having challenges with meeting our revenue targets. What is the next step? What is the customer?
The challenges, well, it's true that the reforms have come and we are still behind. But the good news is that things have turned around. From the last quarter, things have turned around because we identify issue with the import valuation, import revenue, and we thank God we have found an antidote to that, and things have turned around, and we are poised for a very good year in terms of revenue collection.
The discussion on the common external tariff is one of the major concerns to be addressed at the upcoming Importers Forum to be organized by the Ministry of Trade and Industry. Ebenezer Sabote's report for Joy Business.
Stakeholders in the financial sector say recent challenges in the financial sector may have little impact on activities of credit union. Senior auditor with the Ghana Cooperative Credit Unions Association, Yabuachi Mensah, says laws regulating credit unions do not allow funds to be invested in private financial setups such as Men's Gold. Yabuachi Mensah made this revelation at the 8th annual general meeting of the union at Tema.
Tema Chapter Teachers Network Cooperative Credit Union started close to 2 decades ago, with its membership increasing while the network continues to expand yearly. In the 2017 and 18 year under review, the union made a surplus of over 600,000 cedis from about 400,000 cedis the previous year. The annual general meeting was an opportunity for members to vent out their concerns before the board. Senior auditor with the Ghana Cooperative Credit Unions Association, Yabuachi Mensah, explains the reason behind the significant financial improvement. He maintains they invest strategically to ensure the members do not lose their monies. He noted the level of satisfaction and trust among members is high as returns on investment is shared amongst them.
Our funds are secured. When it comes to the credit union, the APES have a deposit guarantee scheme where we secure member deposits. So in an event where a credit union should collapse or a credit union should find itself in a situation, the APES, that's the Credit Union Association of Ghana, takes over the credit union and no single member will lose his or her deposits.
Meanwhile, chairman of the board, Gilbert Asiedu Yeme, says the union will identify investment opportunities to improve customers' profits.
We have to look for credible investment houses to invest more of our, do more of our investments with them. Otherwise, the way things are going, you will not be, you will not know which of the investment houses will fall prey to what is happening.
The board of directors proposed a 15% dividend on member shares for 2017 and 18.
Time now to check how some major commodities traded today on the world market. That's all for now for business with me, Sandra Esenamakono. But when I return in just about 30 minutes, we have a conversation on the railway sector where the minister has been telling me they need about some $8 billion for the transformation of the rail sector. I'll be back. Hello again, I'm back for more business. Israel, you wanted to say something?
Well, yeah. So I just wanted to, draw the people in. It's about the rail service that has been launched, the rail service from Accra to Tema. It was off for a while. It was for, I believe, 2 years, right?
Right, almost 2 years. Yeah.
Okay, so it's back on and you experienced a ride on that service. So you can tell us all about it. I want to know, what it was like for you.
It was refreshing, easy. I have been on the train before, and today the experience is actually different because it was more spacious. I mean, there was a lot has been done when it comes to the new coaches that are on our rail lines now, and actually very spacious. We have nicely trained young men and women who assist you, and also the interesting part for me was that service where they give you some safety tips before you embark on that journey. It was such an exciting experience.
All right, so what for me is exciting is the fact that we're trying to restore a rail service, or to put in place a rail service that actually works. We need one that really works, because like elsewhere, most people depend on the train, and they'll just leave their cars, abandon their cars, and you just hop onto a train. It's going to take them into the city center. They'll do their business. They come back on the train, and they can have to use their vehicles a lot later on. And so I'm so much looking forward to a rail service that works. It works so well that I can depend on it and decide that I'm going to live. But I want to know if people out there, our viewers, think that they're going to, especially those in Tema, if they'll be willing to abandon their vehicles and hop onto the rail service to bring
Israel, I can tell you that we are not there yet, because the Accra Tema rail service is only operating morning and evening as we speak now. And so you go in the morning and you return in the evening, and you can't have during the day 24/7 services, but we hope to get there someday. So the news today is that after almost 2 years shutdown, the Accra Tema rail service is back to life. Today, the sector minister relaunched the service with 2-week free ride for commuters. But one thing was so eminent today: activities of encroachers, from livestock to clothing and even eateries. Squatters have virtually taken over the rails. So how is the ministry dealing with the situation? I joined Joe Garte, who is the sector minister, on a ride today, and he tells me the ministry will need about $8 billion to transform the country's rail sector. So one of the reasons why you postponed the reopening date is because of activities of encroachers along the railway lines. And so from what you've seen today, has the situation improved? If it's not improved, what's the way forward?
Well, we are about to enter the west part of it. The Tema part of the line is not that bad. The Accra part that leaves much to desire. I'm here with the mayor of Accra. I mean, we have to do something about it. If I say the situation has not improved, then I'm not telling the truth, because they used to be on the line. Yes, at least they are not on the line. They are next to the line. But it's dangerous. And so we are going to do a number of things, including looking at the possibility of fencing. If we go to Secondary Takrade, Kujoko, there's a fence there. There's a fence and a wall. So we are looking at all options.
What type of fencing is it going to be?
There are people who argue against walls. That when you create a wall, you create opportunity for people to jump the wall and do all kinds of things within the wall. So there are a lot of people who favor rather a fence where you can look through. Look, we're going to do a multiple of things: fencing, cameras, people. And so we have to protect the line.
Do we know how much this wall is going to cost us, or the fencing is going to cost us?
I don't want to get to the problem Donald Trump has gotten into.
Why not?
Because that's one. Because why not? Because government has closed down in America because of a wall. I don't want to start costing walls and things like that. But I say that's one of the options we are looking at. All of it will be costed.
What's the progress of work on the other rail, the western and then the eastern rail lines?
Tema Burkina. And as I speak, our consultants are on the line doing the final designs, the demarcation, and so on. The entire length of the line is 1,300 kilometers. Accra to Akosobo and Pakadan, it's about 100 kilometers. So there's about 1,200 kilometers left to be done. And so the people who are doing the final designs on it are saying that they will take 8 months to do the design. We went to inform the chiefs and so on, so when they see a stranger and coat on the line, they don't get too excited. Also at the same time, concurrently, we're inviting people to come and join us on a BOT basis. We started with 16 companies. We shortlisted to 12. And the 12 have also been asked to bring what we call a request for qualification, and they are bringing more information so we can shortlist further. Hopefully, by the time we reach the last stage of the procurement, people who are doing the feasibility, the design, the drawings, the financials also are finished. So we can use that as a basis to sort of review or evaluate the proposals. The eastern line is what we are on. The eastern line is Accra Tema, and also to Kumasi. We started with over 100 companies. Then we shortlisted to 45. Then we shortlisted to 25. And now we shortlisted to 6. The 6 companies, the process of procurement, you open what they call the technical proposals before you score it, and then before you open the financials. The financials will be open this week. So we've reached the last stage. After the financials are open, the one which we recommend, we'll take it to Cabinet. Cabinet approves, then we start negotiation. We finish the negotiation, they start construction. That is BOT. The cost of the project is about 1.8 billion. The proposal is that government will take at least 30% of it. Government will either take it for itself or will offer it to Ghanaians. We want Ghanaians to participate in that project. So that project, it is my sincere hope that within the first quarter, we would have chosen the preferred partner. The Western Line, the Ghana Railway Company Limited is working on the narrow gauge. This is a narrow gauge, it's not a standard gauge. It's working on the narrow gauge and it's working under traffic. What it means is that it's working while the train is moving.
Why are we getting funding for all these projects in the railway sector? And how much can we say that, okay, if you want to transform the rail sector, this is the amount it's going to cost us to do that?
Let's cost a kilometer of rail between 3 million and 5 million. Or even 3 million and 6 million, depending on whether it's electric or diesel, depending on the obstacles you meet on the way and so on. So let's give it an average of 4 million. Over 2,000 kilometers. If you times it by 4, it's $8 billion. Me and you know that the government of Ghana does not have $8 billion sitting down to go into rail. So we are using a number of financial models. We are using the BOT, where we invite people to come and join with us, build, operate, and transfer.
So you seem to be taking a lot of cue and support from South Africa. Somewhere in 2015-16, they had serious issues with their rail system. At the point they needed a bailout. When it comes to cost and pricing for the ordinary Ghanaian, don't you think that we will get to a point where we'll need some financial injection into the train sector? Because if you price it high, it's going to collapse it, and you need to price it a certain way that can make the company, the railway, the managers also make some money.
It's a very good question you asked me. I mean, all over the world, not only South Africa, even if you go to England, the question of pricing on train and so has become an issue. I mean, the Labour Party talks about what to do when it comes to pass. So in Ghana, we are seeking to create a sustainable system because there's no point in government putting money into this thing and then it works for 10, 20 years. And then perhaps a future president comes and even says that, well, the railway is working out, so I don't even need a railway ministry. And then to collapse in 20 years. It's a constant investment. And so we are looking at making it sustainable. And we are looking at making it sustainable. We are looking at associated infrastructure. We are looking at ways in which the railway can earn money from things around the railway. In Hong Kong, when we went to Hong Kong, the railway earns money from real estate around it and uses that to sustain the railway.
So that's all for business with me, Sandra Essen Amapeno. For more business updates, do log on to our website, myjawline.com/business. Thanks so much for your time, and let's do more business tomorrow, same time.